Welcome to the Eclipse 550 NG and welcome to Rome. This is the first time we've looked at this aircraft and also this Pier airport. Today we're looking at a straight in visual approach, a 10-mile approach to runway 25. And the first thing that we're doing here is just stabilizing the aircraft. One bugbear that I do have with X-Plane 11, when you start the aircraft, is never really configured properly, so the first objective is just to get everything straight. Now we are looking for around a 500 FPM descent down to 1,300 feet. The reason for that is we want to be at that altitude when we hit the outer marker. Now you may be wondering why we want 1,300 feet. The answer to that is to look at the chart. So that really should be the first thing that you're looking at when you are attempting an approach to pretty much any runway. It's very important to look at charts. They're not that difficult to understand as long as you understand the basics. If you look at runway 25, you will see clearly documented outer marker 1,300 feet at ground speed of around 100 knots. We're looking at 600 feet per minute descent. So right there you have the rules for the approach. It's very important when you start out doing this that you don't end up kind of vaguely approaching an airport, vaguely approaching a runway, trying to figure out where the runway is, what course you should be flying, what rate of descent you should be looking at. It will help you a great deal if you look at a chart, and it will give you the guidelines. It's a huge shortcut. It will save you a lot of time of trial and error. So looking at the outer marker, when we hit the outer marker we'll extend landing gear and also extend flaps, and then we're looking at roughly 600 FPM descent. We're looking at the runway threshold. I think the course is 247, and at that point we're just looking to get ourselves onto center line. This is not the first time I've attempted this landing. I've done a few trial runs with pretty much any aircraft. What you're looking for at landing is, as you see, we've hit the outer marker, so extended landing gear. You're looking for what are you going to do with the power when you start to flare. What you may find yourself doing, and I found myself doing this too, if you pull the power all the way back, flare the aircraft, suddenly you're not able to hold that nose at pitch and you hit the deck pretty hard. The reason for that is that you've taken off too much power, so quite often you'll find you just want to leave a little bit of power on. Finding that correct spot is the real challenge of a landing. If you leave too much power on, you're going to float, too little and you're going to hit the deck hard. So you'll see in this landing I do float a little bit. I find when I float, what I tend to do is I tend to come off center line. So if you see me coming off center line in any of these landings, it's pretty much a certainty that I have floated the aircraft a little bit and I've lost that center line. On rollout, the aircraft, it's not that difficult to get it slowed down. Once you got it slowed down, turn on nose wheel steering. One thing to be careful of, you do want to slow it down enough to turn off safely, but at the same time, once this starts to slow down, you've got to give it a heck of a lot of power to get it going again. So even when you're slowing it down for turn off, start to bring the power back. Don't wait until the aircraft has really started to slow down, because then you're going to struggle to get it moving again, and you may find yourself coming to an absolute dead stop or just having to put in an awful lot of power to restart it. So here we are, making adjustments, trying to get onto center line. looking for some sort of reference point in the cockpit. I would say one tip, make sure that the view is quite far forward. You need to be able to see the VSI in particular. You need to be able to see the 500 scale. So you see we're just flaring a little bit of floating there, and as a consequence you see I start to lose center line. If I'd have just not floated there and got it down a little bit more quickly, and we would still be on center line now. So getting it back on center line, nose wheel steering on, and just slowing it down for the first safe turn off. It's not a particularly difficult aircraft to handle on approach or landing, but as I said previously, you just need to experiment and find out where the best spot is for power at the flare. So as we turn off, hope you found that interesting and hopefully useful, and as always feel free to like, comment and subscribe.